Welcome to a world of mystery. A world so dark that you can barely see. A world where the macabre becomes a reality, and your reality becomes the strange and unusual. This is an October edition of the Cain Stevens Paranormal Super Show.
Buddy, welcome back to the Cain Stevens Super Show. Now the Paranormal Super Show for Spooky Month. I'm reviving the Paranormal Super Show for 1 month only, even though it seems like all I do is talk about ghosts. So, so with that being said, I have another super guest that I just met on an investigation last week. Finally, and she's a medium. I guess a spirit medium, and I just want to talk to her about the process and what she goes through. Without further ado, let's go ahead and not give a standing O because I want to continue being seated, but let's give a round of applause for Jordan Leland, everybody. Jordan, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm good, thank you.
So yeah, thanks for coming on the show. It was good meeting you. Well, I can't say much about the investigation of where we were until we get permission, but let's just say we were at a popular tourist destination here in Lincoln. If you could, not like there's 1,000 of them, with all the beautiful ocean views and everything else that we're all looking at here in Lincoln. But hey, we found a place, and it may or may not be filled with ghosts. Who knows? So. So how'd you think the investigation went?
I just felt like a lot more energy than entities there.
Right.
Like just a lot of stuff had happened there, a lot of history.
Yeah.
So more like residual energy for the most part.
Did you get feelings? Okay, so we'll dive into the medium thing here, but when you first got there, did you get any inclinations, feelings right off the bat? What did you feel about it?
Honestly, not in that first half where we had all the equipment, but when we got into that left part side of the cave, I knew something was down there, but I just didn't know what.
Yeah.
And so I just started investigating immediately when I thought I just had a feeling,
Right. So what has gotten you into ghosts exactly? I mean, have you always been inclined to be interested in the paranormal and ghosts? What has really got you into this sort of thing?
Well, my first experience, I was probably around 10 years old. And so ever since then, I've kind of been interested, but I also was raised strictly Christian.
Right.
So my family doesn't believe that ghosts are people who died. My family thinks they're like angels and demons.
Yeah.
So good or bad, which I agree with on to an end, but I also feel like there's just a lot that we don't know.
Right. I kind of grew up the same way, and then as I got older, I have grown in my belief in Christianity in a different way, I guess.
Yes.
But that's what a lot of them do say. They say they think that it's just angels and demons, but I think being that it's a supernatural book as it is, I think that there's a lot more going on than what we can understand or know. I think that honestly, we'll never. You probably get a bigger peek into it than I do, which is a wonderful lead into. So you are a medium. You feel things. How does the mediumship go for you in terms of, just give me like a synopsis of what it's like to be Jordan?
Well, I do feel, hear, and see them. So I get it on all areas, I feel like, and it can be very intense.
Right.
So a lot of it actually scares me. Kirk was just trying to call me.
Yeah. He's like, don't be on the show. Whatever you do, don't go on that show.
That's funny. But basically, yeah, I feel, hear, and see them. And when I can see them, it's because they're either very powerful spirits or they want me to see them. And I actually just started seeing them more within the last 2 years. And just kind of the intensity of the, I guess, ability of mediumship has been a lot more severe for me lately. So,
so when you see them, do you see them as a picture? Do you see them in full form, as if you're looking at me and talking to somebody? Like, how does that work for you?
So I've only been able to see full-bodied apparitions 3 times ever in my life so far, and that would be like as clear as they looked like you. Like, and I thought it was a real person at first, and then it was the man on the bike on 33rd here in Lincoln, and that was like one of the first times I'd ever seen, like, I saw every single part of this person and thought it was a real person, but it was a spirit, and not everyone could see him. So that was a trip.
Yeah, so I've seen the video of that, and I mean, to me, it does look like a person, and that's not discrediting you. I'm just saying, like, if you're asking my opinion, it looks like a person. So if you're seeing it in that manner, tell me, how often does this thing go by? How many times have you seen it?
I've seen him 3 or 4 times, and it's just supposedly he only lets certain people let him see him.
Yeah.
And I know that my boyfriend's mom can't see him, like the stepdad can't see him, all the other people that live in the house can't see him, but it's only my boyfriend, his sister, me, and his cousin can see this thing.
Interesting.
And the time that I caught him on video, it wasn't as creepy as the first time I'd ever seen him. And the first time, everything went dead quiet. It was like 1, 2 a.m. and we were just outside on the porch. And it was just my boyfriend and I at the time. And he didn't really say anything to me until afterwards, because he thought that I knew that it was a ghost. Because I look up and I was just like, that man's straight chilling, because he was going like super duper slow and just like swaying his bike, but like in the weirdest way of slow motion to explain, like unhuman like slow.
It was like he was setting his own vibe, you know what I mean? Like, it was like he was in his own field. That's crazy though. So what type of bike was it? Like, what is it, an old bike? What can you describe about it?
The bike is black, and he always rides it barefoot. He's never wearing shoes. And there's a basket in front of the bike that always has the same exact items in it. Every time, it's just always the same thing. He always wears the same thing. Like, I don't know, he's stuck in a loop because
it's crazy. Like a residual haunt, do you think? Do you think it's just residual energy replaying?
I do. I feel like he died and got hit on his bike.
Yeah. So if I go riding by this same place tonight around the same time, you're gonna know. You're gonna know it's me anyway. But like, hey, I just talked to that guy, I think. But I mean, it's as real as as real as night and day to you. I mean, it's
yeah.
And that's wild. And so you've also said, is your boyfriend's family's home, is it haunted as well?
It is, yes.
Okay. Could you tell me some of the claims from that house without revealing like where it is? Or
so the neighboring house, a woman fell down the stairs and died. And I see her often, all the time. Every time I go over, I see her. She's just she's very sad that I don't think she meant to die when she did. And every time I see her, it's either an anger or a sad emotion. Like, she's just very, very not happy to be a ghost. And then Kirk has captured stick figures there by the stairs, and we are meaning to go back there at some point, but I'm not sure when.
Mhm.
But another thing, the most recent thing that happened when I was over there last, a door opened and the chain padlock was still locked, but the
Right.
door opened. So the chain was still keeping the door shut, but the door had opened, and we had just came in from outside and locked everything. And
Yeah.
there's 3 locks on that door in order to get it open. So it unlocked 2 of the locks and opened the door.
That's wild, man. That's
Yeah.
and for the audience, just so they know, when you're referring to Kirk, you're referring to Kirk McManus because I can say that because he was just on the show not too long ago. So
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
Kirk is doing good work in the paranormal community. He's trying things that all the other groups aren't trying, and
Yeah.
that's what I like about Kirk, Captain Kirk, is that he's trying things. He's putting in more work than other people are. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. So what? So you guys have do you guys have big plans for more hunts coming up?
Well, since we didn't get permission for Hummel Park in Omaha, we're gonna try maybe my house because it
Yeah.
is haunted here. I
This
feel
one
like
that you're in right now?
yes.
Okay.
I feel like I just also have attachments here.
Right.
So yeah. A lot of things follow me home.
Yeah. Well, so do these entities, do they talk to you? Do you physically hear them as well? I mean, is that mostly what
So
happens?
I've never had a full-on conversation with a
Right.
spirit. It's more of like I can feel them and see, and it's almost like a memory for me to feel, and like I've had dreams of how a person died.
Yeah.
So that's like it's more internal for me. I don't try to externalize my abilities because it can be uh opening yourself up to things that you shouldn't probably.
Well, does it make you, do you get like a eternal sadness type? Do you feel how they felt? Like, I mean, I can only imagine
I
being trapped as a ghost.
definitely I definitely do with the woman in the neighboring house at my boyfriend's place. Like the the feeling part of it and all that has really like stemmed in this whole last year. So I'm still just trying to practice it because mediumship is like a practiced thing.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, and I've talked to mediums and they say that they believe that everyone can be a medium if they tap into it correctly, that everyone has the ability to do so. So would you say you're young in your mediumship? Would you say that, or I mean, where would you put yourself in that scape of mediums?
Honestly, I'd say like intermediate. Like
Right.
I know enough, but I'm still opening myself up to how to do things.
Mhm.
So
Well, I could definitely put you in contact with a guy who I think helps people tap into it more if you are interested in that ever.
yeah, definitely.
Because I'm not interested in it. I mean, my mind is a spinning wheel. It's a it's a blessing, but it's mostly a curse. So I don't want to
Yeah,
add more to it myself. So I don't pity you guys, but I don't want to be you guys either.
it definitely can be a lot, especially when you're like, am I crazy or is this really happening? But I've
Right.
had so many people confirm what I'm hearing, or if I see something out of the corner of my eye, oh, I saw that too. Like I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
So um I know that I'm not crazy. So
Well, I don't think anyone's. I mean, well, there are crazy people, but I don't think people are crazy. I get all sorts of claims from people. People send me emails, all this stuff. I mean, nothing seems too nutty to me. And honestly, I do podcasts like this because I want to get rid of the stigma of we're all nuts just because we believe this. I'm tired of the
yeah,
religious superstition, all that stuff pointing at us saying you're all tinfoil hat crazy people. We're not. We're all
yeah,
regular people. I'm a family man. I have kids. I have a wife. I have dogs. I do stuff just like everybody else. But
yeah,
my reasons why I'm in are for my reasons. Why you're into something like this is for your reasons. But we're not nuts
mhm,
for doing this. So, it's a trigger to me because I get it so many times. I always get that, oh, you do what? And then I tell them and they go, oh, like they kind of like back away slowly,
Yeah, or they're like, oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Sick. Like, yeah.
Exactly. Well, my mom's scared, my mom worries about me because she doesn't want me diving in too far and all that. And I get it. I believe her. I just I don't feel like I'm doing anything that would open myself up for anything too crazy. I don't know about you, and maybe it's different. Do you ever get any like spiritual attacks or mental attacks in your dreams and all that?
Hey there, fellow follicle enthusiasts. We have a sponsor that's about to make your beards go wild with delight. Brace yourselves for the one and only, the elegant Sasquatch. Are you ready to unleash your outer beast?
Cain, I've been waiting for this moment my entire bearded life. But tell me, how can the elegant Sasquatch help us awaken our inner beasts?
Oh, my hairy companion, the elegant Sasquatch has a treasure trove of beard products that will have your whiskers partying like it's the wildest night in the forest. From their aromatic beard oils to their beastly balms and buttery concoctions, they've got everything you need to make your beard sing with joy.
I can almost hear my beard belting out its own rendition of I Will Survive.
Your beard is in for a treat, my friend, and here's the best part. Every single product is handmade with love. Picture this, a team of Sasquatch artisans rocking their aprons and wielding their grooming tools, crafting beard goodies that will blow your mind. It's like a hairy fiesta of craftsmanship.
I can see those Sasquatch artists dancing with their combs and trimmers like they're on a hairy stage.
Absolutely. These bearded maestros pour their heart and soul into every bottle of beard oil, every tin of balm, and every tub of butter. They're like the Michelin-starred chefs of the beard world, creating culinary delights for your facial hair.
My beard is salivating in anticipation.
Well, get ready for your beard to do a happy dance because the elegant Sasquatch has you covered from all angles. Their beard oils will make your whiskers as smooth as a buttery glide. Their balms will sculpt your beard into a masterpiece that would make Da Vinci jealous. Their butters will leave your beard softer than a cloud made of marshmallows, and their washes will cleanse your beard with a scent that's fresher than the waterfalls in the Rockies.
My beard is ready for the bearded revolution.
You can find the Elegant Sasquatch on Instagram and Facebook. They're ready to share their hairy wisdom, showcase their bearded customers, and entertain you with memes that will make your mustache curl with laughter.
I can't wait to join the hairy community and bask in the glory of their bearded memes.
So, folks, get ready to let your beards run wild, unleash your outer beast, and head over to Facebook and Instagram to find the Elegant Sasquatch. Trust me, your beard will thank you, and you'll be the envy of every bearded creature in the virtual forest.
Here's to smelling like a wild creature and embracing your inner Sasquatch.
Cheers to that, my fellow bearded brethren, and stay elegant with the Elegant Sasquatch.
In my dreams, yes, not in the physical. I tell them not to touch me, and I think I give off that like stay away from me, like intention, I guess. But in my dreams, I did have a pretty intense one. At my previous home, I had a dream that a man held a crowbar over a woman's neck and was choking her. And then when I woke up, I just felt so like just weirdly drained. It wasn't exactly sleep paralysis because I wasn't half awake. I was sleeping, dreaming.
Right.
But it was very terrifying.
That's kind of a cop-out too. A lot of people will just instantly throw it at sleep paralysis and that's it. Because I've had terrifying things happen in my dreams, especially in haunted houses I lived in. And I can say that it was very real. But they will just continue to throw out the sleep paralysis must have been it. But I honestly don't believe it. I mean, not always.
Sleep paralysis is like the demon sitting on your chest.
Right.
And which could be paranormal or medical. So
Well, yeah, there's a lot of I do need to explain to the listeners that I'm not saying that everything's haunted. I'm not saying there's many times, I would say 90% of the time, you can explain everything that's happening. You really can. And that's what I search to do. I'm probably like the biggest boner killer, buzzkill of the entire group, because it's not that I don't do it to hurt anybody's feelings. I believe so much, but I'm also a skeptic because I want to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. So I'll bet sometimes people are like, oh no, here comes debunking Debbie Downer again, but I'm only doing it because I want to make sure that this is truly paranormal. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So I worry about that sometimes. I worry about like the group that we investigate with, that, sometimes when I answer something, I don't mean it in that way. Maybe my, for lack of a better term, bedside manner when it comes to all this is not great, but I'm also kind of I've always been kind of an awkward human being in general. So it's like, I might as well just show my cards. And so that's what it is for me. But I mean, I do look forward to investigating more with you guys, especially, getting to know you better and seeing how your mediumship grows and everything. I think it's a valuable tool to have a person like yourself on the group.
Yeah. When we investigated one of the team members' houses, actually, I was the first person to go in. And then I never have any previous knowledge of history. I'm actually not even from here, so I knew nothing about the last investigation we went on.
Yeah.
So when we went to Laura's, that was something, man. I knew something was upstairs. And I went into the living room and I was like, can we go upstairs first? But Kirk didn't want to do that. So we started in the basement and did a listening session. And then whatever was down there was like just more curious and kind of actually scared of us. It didn't want to use our REM pod really, but it did end up using intelligent responses off the REM pod.
Yeah.
And we did a listening session upstairs in the room that I knew was like, I just felt something weird up there. And I think that's where Kirk sent that message that was like, I don't think that's for Curtin. That's the room that entity is in. So there's something definitely dark up there that was messing with us. I like my dowsing rods and I was asking it questions and it was answering. And then all of a sudden, our teammate made kind of a smart remark towards it. And this dowsing rod started spinning.
Right.
Just quickly. And I was like, whoa. And I don't like stuff like that. Whatever was in there was dark. So
let's talk about dowsing rods. I observed how you did that at said popular destination, and I thought you seemed like you knew what you were doing. You seemed like you were really really thorough about it. But let's explain for the listener or the layman exactly what a dowsing rod is and how you use it, in your words.
So in paranormal, dowsing rods are used to ask intelligent yes or no questions, or either or questions. Right. So you can ask, say, are you female or are you male? Cross them if you're female, uncross them if you're male. And I always try to start with them straightforward ahead of me so that they can either open or shut them. And sometimes you have to explain to them how to do it, and you cross it over with your fingers and just show them how to use it. And then if there is something there, they usually do pick up on that. And I do have that spiritual pull. They want to talk to me. I feel like whenever I hand off the dowsing rods, nobody wants to talk to them. They want to talk to me.
Right.
So I just have like that spiritual pull. They're comfortable because they know that I can sense them, I feel like. So there's that. But in what dowsing rods actually used to be used for is to show where water was coming from.
Right, like finding energy in water, right?
Yes. So that goes into all kinds of other stuff that even Kirk is investigating, like the spirits contain like DNA and stuff like that. So
yeah. Well, the earliest I can remember ever seeing anything about dowsing rods was an episode of Lassie, and it was like black and white. And I remember, like, I don't know if it was his grandpa or somebody was using dowsing rods to find water. And I can remember being as a kid, like, I don't understand how that works. And then, and I still don't know how it works. I mean, here I am, I'm a 41-year-old quote unquote man. And and I still don't get it, but I mean, I understand it in terms of why it would work in paranormal, because it's energy, and they're able to entities in theory are able to manipulate energy in order to manifest themselves, to communicate, and all that, right?
yes, and then dowsing rods are usually also made out of copper. So
yeah. Which is a high conductor. If you could get a gold dowsing rod, that would be even better, right? Because gold is a higher conductor than that. But who has all that gold hide now, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to ask Captain Kirk about that. I'm gonna have to explain to him that we need gold dowsing rods, or it's not happening.
Yeah, he'd probably get a kick out of that.
Yeah. But no, but you seemed like you had some pretty good, intelligent responses that I can't personally explain when you're asking questions. And I think even a skeptic, I watched your hands thoroughly, and it's not you. It's just it's one of those it's not you, it's me scenarios. It's just I like to watch people and exactly how they are. And I mean, you were holding them loosely. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. Your thumbs and your hands weren't moving around. I mean, you seem to have it legit down. So I felt it was interesting that you were getting intelligent responses to some of the questions. Are you a female? And you paused and you waited and you gave them time to answer.
Yeah, usually about 15 seconds is what they need. So.
Right. So where did you get when did you begin doing dowsing rods? And I mean, because you seem pretty legit in it. How long have you been doing that?
See, like about 5 years.
Mm-hmm. And what area where are you from?
I'm from Fremont, Nebraska. I grew up there, but I was born in Omaha.
Okay. So are there a lot of haunted places in Fremont?
There's one pretty big one, Barnard Park. It used to be infant cemetery, an infant cemetery. So, and now it's a park. So there's just like a lot of energy there because it's children. So
yeah. So you can go there now currently, and it is I mean, are the grave sites still there? Is it all?
No, it's so old that it's all underneath the park.
Okay.
And yeah.
So why do you think, why do you think that spirits stick around cemeteries and their bodies? I mean, do you think they just don't know where else to go? Why do you think they do it?
I feel like there's several different reasons. Some don't want to go.
Yeah.
Some might not know that they're dead.
Right.
Some might be trapped by a different spirit, a negative entity.
Yeah.
There's several reasons.
Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the Ghost Story movie with Casey Affleck?
I don't think so.
Man, if you get a chance, it's a really good movie. I mean, I'm a different guy, I guess, but it was very sad to me. It's like a very well put together movie. It's cool because he's like in a sheet ghost costume, like that's the thing. But it's like the way they did it and like the story. It was like, man, I even cried to it. It was like, and when I watch it, it makes me feel. It makes me feel so sad for like those in that world where they feel trapped by everything. My theory is that and this is merely a theory of a monkey like myself trying to make something, try to figure out life and death. I feel like it's all kind of like a past, present, and future continuum type thing. And I feel like that's what the spirit world's like. So that's why we're seeing residual haunting. That's why we're getting the now. That's why we're getting people in Victorian outfits appearing and all this stuff. I think that it has to do with something like that.
Yep, just kind of like how everything that's happening has already happened.
Right. And it's
So,
just something that we can't understand because we're just humans, well, some of us smarter than others. But
yeah,
we're just not there. We're not meant to know it, I guess.
yeah. I think after we die, we become all knowing.
Yeah, I think that too. I think that all the questions are answered. Like, I mean, because honestly, that's what we want. It would be cool if, like, when we died, there's like somebody sitting at a desk and they've got like almost like a customer service person. They've just got like a list of, yeah, this is why you die. This is what. It's almost boring. It's like in Beetlejuice when they have they have that manual for being dead
Yeah,
for the recently deceased. It's probably like that.
that's yes. There's this movie called Soul, and they
Yeah.
explain the great before and the great beyond being where you pass away, and the great before is like where new souls have all their personalities put together, and they have to earn an earth pass in order to go to earth, and it's a trip because you're like, does that happen? Like, are we made before we come, and then once we're worthy we come? Like,
Right. Or the idea that when we die, that our souls kind of are just like, we can either decide to go back, we can do all this. There's all these theories as to what happens.
yeah.
The term old soul and all that comes from the idea that some people are just old souls. They got to figure it out early.
Yes, I actually 4 years ago I learned how to astral project, and that's another thing. Like, if I can astral project, does that mean when I die that my soul that's been astral projecting is gonna just go wherever I want it to?
Right. It's
Like,
it's an interesting thought. I mean, that in itself is a show. That in itself is a you could write and talk about it in so much. I mean, the best idea of that I felt that they did actually in a horror movie was in Insidious. With the astral projection, I thought that was very interesting how they portrayed it. I felt like it was almost too real. How
yeah,
how they in a weird. I know it's fake, but you get what I'm saying.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Did you like Insidious? Do you like horror
I
movies?
like all the incidents.
Yeah, I do too. I think they're fantastic.
You definitely.
The Conjuring movies, well, all those kind of came out at the same time, and
And
they were amazing.
yeah, they're all loosely based on real stories. So,
Right.
yep. That's
Well,
probably why it kind of felt real. It was because like some of it is real. So,
I'll be darned if they don't know how to pull our minds and pull our hearts. And, they got it figured out. But man,
yeah.
horror movies are getting better and better. I saw the trailer for The Exorcist a few thousand times. The new one coming up, man, and I about crap my pants. I don't know why, but I mean,
The
the demonic stuff
Exorcist,
scares me, man. It terrifies me.
mhm, definitely, definitely. I do believe that the spirit on the man of the bike could be demonic. Like, if you're that present and I can see that clearly,
Yeah.
it's and he never speaks. Like, you can't hear him, you can't hear his bike. Like, it's just so weird.
Well, I'm definitely interested to go there sometime and see if we can figure it out. I'd like to go with you guys too, because I find it
Yeah,
very interesting, and it's a great story. And it's and not for entertainment purposes, but just in general, it's a great thing to try to. I mean, no one's talking about the man on the bike, in this area. I think it's around like 33rd or something, right?
it's in between 33rd A and D.
Okay.
In between. And it's by this Asian market. There's a place, there's like a part of the street where activity begins and a part where it ends. So in between A and D, it ends at D and it begins at A.
Right.
And weird stuff every night happens. It starts feeling weird. You start seeing things. So like, I don't even like talking about it.
Why why does everything happen at night? I know they talk about the veil and everything between, a certain time. A lot of times between midnight and 3 and 4 a.m. is pretty crazy.
They say 12:04 is when the veil drops.
Yeah.
So, and it does. It's weird stuff starts happening there. And I've had I felt and heard footsteps behind me. But I looked behind, I didn't see anything, but my boyfriend's sister was like, oh no, I just saw it. I thought it was just my eyes. And I was like, did you hear it though? She said she didn't hear and feel the footsteps, but she saw the person walk behind me.
Right.
So that was just weird too. Like, there's a lot that happens around there.
That's wild, man. I hope I can go with you guys one of these times. And I really do look forward to investigating with you guys more. Is there anything else that you want to try to cover? Do you have anything you want to promote? Do you have anything that you want to say?
Honestly, I'm just trying to grow on the mediumship stuff, because it's kind of still new for me. So
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, if you would like to be in contact with the medium that I know that I think he does help people with their mediumship and having them channel it and whatnot. I can definitely put him in touch with you.
Definitely, I would appreciate that. Yeah,
that would be awesome. Well, I thank you so much for doing this interview. Welcome to, we will be in spooky month by the time this comes through. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I mean, it's just to me, it doesn't get any better than this. So thank you so much, Jordan. And, I wish you the best in everything you have going on. And hopefully we do some more hunts together.
Definitely.
All right. Take care of yourself. Thank you.